I'm a goddamn shining princess, and this ain't shit toad motherfucker deserves no kisses. He will never be a prince.
Parallax.
Para-fucking-lax. I'm tired.
What are you tired of? Are you tired of heartbreak?
Seamless! I feel like people who go through breakups, there should be like actual rehab for people who go through breakups, like a place you could go to where they take away your cell phone and they take away your internet access to go trolling on people's, you know, fucking social media and see what they're up to and yada yada. Like I think it's
breakup boot camp.
Yeah, like well,
of course you want it to be fucking
rehab, and I'm like, boot camp, bitch, we're gonna kick your heart in its ass, and we're gonna burn an effigy of them. I think it's really good to like ritualize your heartbreak, because like
giving it proper attention.
Right, exactly. Like you're giving it reverence, and it's kind of like giving it a funeral. So I actually think there's a lot to be said for like lighting things on fire and burying.
And there you go. Go against a lot of your instincts when you're in the midst of heartbreak.
No, that's real. That's a good. Please continue.
Fucking, you're like, you know what? If I just make this phone call at 3 a.m. and tell Steve that he is the end-all, be-all of my universe, and if he comes over, we can just work things out. Don't do it. Fuck Steve, but don't fuck Steve, is what I'm saying. Do not contact. Do not. Even if everything in you is saying, red alert, red alert, red alert, fucking reach out. Don't reach out.
Oh, you know what? That is such... Ugh, you are speaking a word right now, because I think it's really like actually totally applicable. In fact, I'm gonna say it's like definitely fucking applicable. This is why there should be relationship rehab, because love is a drug. And that doesn't mean that love isn't real. But that dump truck of dopamine and serotonin that comes from kissing and cuddling and like bonding with somebody, and then suddenly it's taken away from you, you will do almost anything, much like an addict, to get that back. And if you like, oof, man, yeah,
even when it's making you do crazy shit,
exactly,
even when you're doing things that you would never do in your right mind, that you have maybe like talked shit about other people for doing.
Yeah, the late night calls, the drunken whatevers, because you're going through withdrawal.
You're an addict and you're withdrawing.
If you're watching this because you're going through heartbreak, like you are literally having withdrawal symptoms right now, and something is telling you, I need this to be happy, and that's not true. Like it fucking sucks, and there is kind of no way around except like that it's gonna take time, and it's gonna take actively reminding yourself that thinking about that person and thinking about the past is unhealthy, that it's not helpful, not because you're trying to bank it and pretend it wasn't there, but because that's your past. Because you're not looking at that person right now. You're not in that relationship right now.
They're not looking at you.
Yeah.
Especially if they left.
It's rough. It's fucking
And that's, I think, a huge part of it is like coming to the acceptance of they don't want me.
Yeah.
They don't want me.
And the same way their shitty behavior is not about you, like you're kind of in a big way, your feeling of like, I need them to love me is more about you.
That's what I'm saying. And again, like it's like with the breakup, it's more about them than it is about you.
Their behavior is not about you, like, and your behavior is not about them. Like your behavior is like...
And who are you thinking about, really, in this? You're thinking about your own heart and how it's feeling, and how that person would make it feel better, because that's the fucking Band-Aid that's been on those cracks that were already there.
If they would just talk to me, if they would just come over, if we could just, like...
sit
here and watch Netflix.
Try it and fall back into your patterns.
Boy, have you ever done that? I have.
Yes!
I've definitely done that.
I've definitely, back to somebody.
Yeah, or tried to hang on to something that you felt like was really not going to work, but you kept trying to hold on to it because maybe, and it just makes it so much worse.
Like a jelly slide from 1993, you just need to let it go.
We're talking about breakups. I do feel like one of the fucking rules, like, is really, like, no contact for a while. Not because even, like, I hate you and I don't want to talk to you, but just a healthy, like, okay, and this, as the fucking person who maybe got broken up with, you have a perfect right to be like, I'm not ready to be friends. If they should maybe suggest that you guys should continue to have a relationship or whatever, even if you want to be friends, even if you want to continue to have a relationship with them, I think you need, like, a, you know, 2 to 3 month period of zero contact so you can find yourself again, just without that person appendage.
Yes.
Because if you've been together long enough or passionately enough, even if it's not a matter of time, that person feels like you're part of me and something got fucking removed.
Heartbreak.
Heartbreak. Clean break. That's I think some good advice that's very hard to take. Is like, if they want to break up, then well, you're signing up for an all the way fucking break. Like, this is not a...
No, you're not on a break.
No. No, man, and fuck that.
Fuck that. Oh, yeah, let me see if fucking this rando makes me feel differently.
Maybe I still want to come
and then I'll come. Oh, fuck you, man.
Fuck you.
Oh, yeah, nice fucking break. I'll break you.
Delete,
yeah. Clean
block.
breaks. Delete, block, remove.
Delete, block,
Don't ask your
friends.
friends. Do not ask your mutual friends about what this person's up to. Don't ask if they're dating. Especially don't fucking ask if they're dating.
If you were to tell yourself, like, I'll do 2 months or 3 months no contact, and then if I still feel like
I need to talk to them.
Yeah, like I need to see
discuss.
if there's something here or whatever, then you're doing it in your right mind and you're doing it with the drug out of your system. You're not doing it out of a fucking urge. You're not doing it out of impulse. You're doing it because, okay, like I waited to see if this is still here, and after this long, yeah, it's still fucking here. So like now it's worth doing something about, and maybe I've learned some things and I can actually come to the table with like, maybe we can fucking make it work because I fucking needed to learn X, Y, and Z.
Yeah, and there are instances where that is the case.
Yeah,
and
we've
there are
both
people
been there.
That, yeah, both gotten back together with
And
people
had
that
good
worked
relationships.
for at least a while.
Yeah, like had good, like I, you know, would not look back and be like, what a trash fire.
What a
you know what I mean?
stupid, yeah, and there, but also we've both gone back to ones that were
That
trash
was
fires.
a trash fire, and you learn.
You learn.
You live, you learn.
And then you get loves.
You don't get loves.
You get loves from the right fucking people.
The same strategies all work if you, whether you want to be happy without the person or if you want to get the person back. I think the secret sauce is like,
Or if you don't want to get the person back, but you want them to want you back. Oh,
yeah.
Oh, honey, that's
in all
my
three
fucking,
cases, it works just as well. No contact, because I'm fine without you, bitch. Even if you're like, that's not true.
Dying.
Yeah, if you're dying inside, there's some degree of control, and like sometimes they lie awake and go, "Fuck, did I fuck it up?" Like, and yeah,
and they did.
Shit. You tell yourself that. Shit. Whatever.
Write it the fuck down.
And you know what? You're gonna be better and smarter and kinder and hotter after this experience if you grab it by the fucking nuts and ride it to a better person. Because even if that person was really nice and a good person and all that stuff,
and I hope that they were,
and I hope
because
so
you
too.
deserve to be with somebody good and nice and not to have your heart broken.
And even though that's a worst case scenario, if it's a good, cool person that you totally wish you could still be with, they still gave you something really good, and that person thought you were good. And like that you were worth having a relationship with, and this is probably some stuff about them that you can't even know no matter, you know, what they say. Like,
and it's not your shit to know anyway.
Exactly. And it's not the point.
And it might not even make you, it might make you feel worse.
It's your life. Again, you're trying to make yourself like a guest star in their movie, and that's the wrong fucking, like...
That movie went to, like, straight to DVD, man. That's why you're not in it, because you're better than that.
Regardless of the circumstances, regardless of how nice or how not nice they were, like, this is about you. And I think that's also really fucking hard in a society that pushes romantic love as this is the end-all be-all, and this is what you should be striving for. And if you don't have this and you don't experience a moment where you walk into a crowded room and lock eyes with a stranger and know that you're supposed to get married, then you're not like having a real love experience, or you're not like actually fulfilling your purpose or experiencing the heights of this earth or whatever, which is like all bullshit.
And it oversimplifies our fucking existence and what it can mean.
And commodifies it.
Yeah. And I would say that you don't, one, try to rush through the feeling, because I really understand that desire, because feeling bad sucks. And people will do pretty much anything to stop feeling bad, and it really only ends up being a distraction from those feelings that are going to be there when you get back to them. And maybe you're going to do not so great things to distract yourself from bad feelings, because they take a lot to distract from, and so you might do some stuff to be amplified to the point of not having to think at all, let alone about those bad feelings. And there's no judgment, because I have done those things, but sometimes it compounds, and it doesn't fucking make things any better.
No, it's kind of like you're grabbing like all these big fucking stones of like, oh, I'll get drunk, or oh, I'll fuck a bunch of people,
again,
or oh, I'll
no
go
judgment.
No judgment, but I'll go do whatever to disassociate and distract
myself. To not be in myself.
And it's actually like, instead of, you know, like protecting yourself and building some kind of wall, you're actually like building a big fucking dam with the ocean of your fucking feelings building and building and building behind it that you don't want to deal with, and you're like, I don't want to be under that wave, but you're actually making the wave
fucking drown
so much bigger. Yeah. Like so you gotta just let it wash over you and be confident that you'll still be standing, even though you're gonna feel like you're drowning for those few seconds. It's just a wave, and it's gonna pass, and it'll recede, and you'll get a moment where you can be like.
And if you don't give yourself time to build a life raft, you're going to cling to debris.
Oh. I think it's also like, It's really fucking important and a fine, weird line to tread to say, like, your feelings are super valid and real, but also they're kind of not real.
And not to be trusted
And, like,
always.
that's what it is. It's not, they're not the truth. They're real, but they're not the truth. So, 3 in the morning, 24 hours after your breakup, and you're like, either maybe I've made a terrible mistake if you're the person who broke up, or you're the person who's broken up with, and you're like, I literally cannot live without this, I need to make a call. Breathe and don't fucking do it.
Get a fucking notebook out and write down.
Or text a friend that is like at this level where you can just be like, dude, I'm drowning. And I need you to tell me that, like, I'm not drowning, and like that you're, you know, there, and you'll stick out a hand.
Drowning, I couldn't text you.
And if I need to sleep over at your house, then that's what so, you know, support network.
It's tempting, and maybe you need to do it for a while, but don't isolate yourself completely, because you're going to just be trapped with only your thoughts and what fucking good can come, what can grow in a dark room. We become so overwhelmed with this horrible, horrible thing that we're going through that we forget that there have been other things in our lives. I think of how we then center all of our attention on what we've lost and lose all sight of what we have.
And everything you gave to them, it's time to give to yourself. Like, every little bit of energy and love and affection that you gave to them, it's time to start giving to yourself and fill up that, you know, big hole that really is left when somebody pulls the plug on you. And also, you might make some really good fucking art when you're heartbroken. Do you sing? Do you play music? Do you write poetry? Do you talk on the internet?
Should you start?
What? You probably could make some incredible things. So definitely one of the things you should do. Filling your time is a thing. So fill your time with maybe something that's kind of like creative. Like, try something new, so you're finding out, like, I have this new dimension to myself. Like, I didn't know that I liked painting pottery or fucking taking music lessons or drawing class or dance or whatever. And that kind of, I think, also broadens your horizons of yourself. Like, oh shit, life can be different. And also just getting out and being among other people.
But you need and deserve your love right now is the whole point. You have to. Nobody else can give it to you in the way that you can, because you know what you need. And it's not that person as much as your fucking ringing in your head is telling you that it is.
And do you know what a good love you will have when you're, like, full to the brim and don't need anybody to love you, but they just make a wonderful, like, addition.
Right.
Like,
they're addition to your life, not your life.
Yeah, not a complete. They don't complete you. Nobody fucking complete.
You're complete. You're complete.
But I do think it's like a fucking... like, I have just been through another big experience, and that means that, like, maybe I can be a bigger, more expanded version of myself. You know what I mean? Like, maybe... Sorry.
Now there's room for things that there wasn't room for before, because I now have context that I didn't have before.
Totally.
Now, yeah. I've carved out spaces in myself that didn't exist before to make room for these new feelings.
Yeah, this dug a deeper well in my heart. Like, and even though right now it feels empty because it's been dug so deep. Yeah, and you can fill it.
I was going to say, not by somebody else.
Yeah, I think I took from my breakups that we're all wounded, and we wound each other in ways that rhyme with the ways we've been wounded. And I think that's why it's really fucking important to spend that time, like you said, loving yourself and getting with yourself and, you know, trying new things and getting reacquainted with yourself, so that you don't go wounding somebody or wanting to be wounded in old ways. I don't mean wanting, I mean in the way that, psychologically speaking, they say we seek out what feels normal, even when what was normal in our childhood was ass. If you do it consciously, I think a breakup can definitely guarantee a better relationship the next time.
You've learned. You need to remember to give yourself what you feel like you're missing from this person, which is love and attention.
And remember how long you existed without them before they came into your life, and how there were definitely moments of pure bliss and, like, my life is awesome and I love this and everything.
There will be moments of pure bliss.
Life is so hard, and we're stronger than we give ourselves credit for, you know, and maybe that's just something to remind you, is that you're stronger than maybe you're giving yourself credit for right now, because you maybe don't feel that strong. But, like, you know, it's okay to have moments where you don't feel that strong, you still are.
Be your boyfriend now, Nancy.
Be your own goddamn boyfriend
/ girlfriend,
partner, spouse, love of your own life. See you next Saturday for the website. Those look like my hand. Good.